In today's video, you're going to learn how to create a daily schedule in order to build up great routines and habits. And without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So our plan exists out of 4 key points. The first point is to get clear about our goals, because it wouldn't make sense to build up the habit of running every day for somebody that wants to become a bodybuilder. So at first, you need to get very clear about what is it that you want to achieve, because that is going to determine the habits that we're going to build up in order for you to achieve your goal. Now take yourself some time and actually get clear about your goal, because without knowing that, we can't move on to the second step. So pause the video and continue once you're done. Now let's move on to the second step. And the second step is actually the hardest of all of them, because now we actually create our own daily schedule. So now I will share with you my screen so you can see how this could look like. So this is actually a schedule that I don't use anymore, but I use it for like 30 days or something. And I also think it makes sense to change and improve it over time, because like things in your life might change and it makes sense to adapt on this change. And in this schedule, I actually wrote down every little detail, every little habit, because for me it's just great to write down every little habit. It's also like almost like a habit tracker. And yeah, so I woke up at 6:00 and then I dressed up my gym clothes, drank some water, walked to the gym, did my workout, walked home, showered and dressed up my work clothes, prayed, meditated, worked on my business, got done my non-negotiables, ate with my fam, then I did a digestion walk right after eating, and then I created a new character. Like, it's just learning something new, it's more that. Then I recorded and uploaded a YouTube video. I ate and talked with socials. It's like talking with the fam and enjoying the evening for 1 hour. Then digestion walk. I also, in this plan, I did it I gave myself enough time, because all the plans that I did before, I always struggled to actually be in the timeline. So in this plan, I want to change this and made it not that strict from the timeline. So I gave myself 2 hours to just eat with my fam and talk with them and do a digestion walk. That's quite a lot of time. But yeah, like I changed it because in the plans before I always had too less time for everything. So I wanted to try it out to give myself more time. So then I have something where I try to learn something new also, like nice to haves. I have non-negotiables and nice to haves. Non-negotiables are the things that I want to get done directly in the day, and once I have them done, my day is almost like a success. And once I have them done, I can move on to my not nice to haves. These are just tasks that are nice to complete, but they are not like I need to get them done. And yeah, so in this hour I go to the nice to haves, and then I prepared the next day in a journal, and I slept at 21:30. So if you do the plan, you can also see things that you need to improve. For example, this is with my sleep, that actually needs to improve looking at my sleep. So I actually sleep 8 hours a day, or 9 hours, how I planned it, and it actually makes sense to do that. Also with journaling, what was the problem there, why couldn't I do it and stuff. And that's also failures. Out of these failures or out of these problems or situations where you couldn't do the habit, you can learn so much, and then you can improve on in the next plan, or change it right away and do the improvement. It's also with YouTube, it takes much more time than I thought it does. So I wasn't actually able to upload a video every day, but I'm working on it and getting faster and better. So the most important thing in the beginning is to actually make a plan that you can follow, because it does not make sense to make a very, very strict plan that you can't actually follow, and then you don't complete something and you get in this downward spiral of not completing your task. And that's the last thing that you want to have in the beginning. Look that you were able to complete all the tasks, and then you can go with the upward spiral and give yourself harder tasks, to a stricter plan and all these kind of things. But in the beginning, look that you stack these small wins and just get up the momentum. Now actually take the time to create this daily schedule, because the more you actually plan it now and the better you plan it, the easier it's going to be to actually follow it and do the things that you actually want to do. And if you want a more in-depth video of how I did mine, just write me a comment and I can do for you a video in the future. But now let's move on to the third step. And the third step is actually so simple, but still so many of you don't do it. And it's just preparing the day the night before. It's actually something so simple. It only takes you around 5 to 10, maybe 20 minutes to do it, but it gives you a complete kickstart in the next day. I actually only do 3 things. The first thing is that I plan my day out, so I structure it. The structure is actually not all the time the same, but the daily schedule that I showed you before is always the structure on which I orient myself. But you know how it is. Sometimes things come unexpected, or you just need to do something else, and then you need to adapt on this. So I always plan the day the night before and do a individual structure for it. So it only takes me around 2 minutes because I have my original structure already of my daily schedule. And the second step is actually what I do is I write down my work tasks and the goals that I want to attack on the next day the night before, because it always shows me, okay, I need to do this, because when it is work time, I know exactly what I need to do. I don't stumble across, I don't search for a task, or I don't search for an answer. I know exactly what I need to do, and that helps me enormously. And the third thing that's actually very simple, and it's something the military actually does, it's preparing your clothes right at the side of your bed. And it's something that's so simple, but it actually helps you so much, because when you wake up in the morning, that's the time where you're actually the most lazy, when you're just getting out of your bed, out of your warm bed, and you don't want to get in the cold. So it's actually preparing the clothes makes it so much easier. You don't need to search it all out and find your socks, find your clothes and all these kind of things. It's actually very simple. Just prepare it, then you have it, and it's actually very fast, and it gives you the kickstart that you want to have. So really take this time. Really take this 5 to 20 minutes to actually prepare the day the night before. It makes so much sense to do it, and it makes just something so much easier in the next day. You don't need to do much. Just prepare your clothes, prepare your work tasks, and change your schedule a bit. You don't need to do it as crazy as me. I also write down my workout plan, what I trained in the next day. And I actually got more and more into it, because I think it's so overpowered. And if you don't do it, you're actually missing out on something. But now I emphasized it enough. Let's move on to the fourth step. And the fourth step is actually something I have out of a book. And this book has so many great things in there. But the key thing that I actually took out of it is to create your physical environment and set it up for success. You can actually design your physical environment and set up everything so that it actually helps you and makes it so much easier to follow your great habits. Because when you make your habits more obvious, it actually helps you doing it more. For example, if you want to read more, then just put your book right in front of your bed. If you do that, it actually helps you reading more, because the first thing that you see when you go to the bed in the evening is your book. Then you have your book right in your hand, and you just need to start reading. It's the same thing with running. If you want to run more, then put your running shoes right in front of your bed. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is your running shoes. It makes it so much easier to actually do it. And it actually also reminds you that you need to do it. So there are many, many great things about doing that. So really check your environment, check everything. And I also did this. I looked at my daily schedule and looked, okay, I wake up then I went through all the plan physically and looked, okay, where could I improve something? Okay, I want to shower right in the morning. So I put my clothes to actually take down to shower right in front of my bed. So when I wake up, I just need to take my clothes, go down, shower, and dress up. It makes it so much easier, and it also gives you so much more time because you don't need to take everything out and look all these kind of things. And yeah, it just make your habits much more obvious, because that makes it so much easier for you to actually do it. And that means that you have more discipline for the things that actually matter. So now I really hope that I could help you with creating your daily schedule and help you with making a plan to actually build up better habits and better routines. And now it's actually time to start using this plan and applying it, because without the execution, it actually doesn't bring you anything. You need to actually now execute it and go through the plan. And like I said, you can also improve it over time, change it a bit, adapt it. But the key is just to always have a great plan, because that gives you so much more structure, and you have much more time. You will realize that you have so much more time in the day than you actually think. Like almost all the time, everybody tells me, "Oh, I don't have time for that," or "I don't have time for that." No, it's just you're not clear about what you're using your time for. If you just let the day happen to you and not plan the day and actually decide what you want to do in the day, then you're actually not going to do anything productive. It's actually very much more difficult to actually complete all your tasks. And on that note, I really thank you for watching this video to the end, and I'm going to see you in the next one.